Hello everyone, Cutting Tool Designer here. Getting ready to start doing the putting down the color on the floor on top of the overlay. A few things I just wanted to bring out here, and these are pretty much all my mistakes. There are some areas, I'm going to point them out here, here, and here. And what they were was clumps of the mixture that hadn't got mixed up in the overlay when I poured it. And so, in other words, it didn't get hydrated. So we probably should have spent, another minute or two mixing in the bucket to try and make sure more of the product was incorporated. So I'm not going to blame that on the product. I'm going to blame that on me because, of course, this is the first time I've ever done it. So we went through a learning experience. A couple other things I'd like to point out is this is what they call a bug hole. Basically, it's a hole in the overlay. And again, I'm going to blame this on me. And we've got a number of different spots throughout. Same thing with these types of things here. And because my floor was so rough and so porous after I ground it down, what I should have done is I should have done basically a skim layer, poured down some material, and then took a broom and brushed it in real good, just to put a real thin layer down and let that set enough that it had, it wasn't completely hard yet, but let it set enough so that it kind of would have taken these and eliminated them, and then put more overlay down over top of it. So that's basically my fault. I knew about that and I forgot about it, and I didn't plan for it, so that was my mistake. A few other things, because we had some of these nodules sticking up, what I did was I took a sander and just went across the entire floor, took off any high spots, and removed any of this loose material, and mixed up just a little bit more of the Agri-Rok, and kind of just took a putty knife and put it in there, let it harden. So it's at least filled part in. The other thing is, and that apparently is a piece of dirt, but we've got, you can see some spots here and there, and it's probably some more locally here that you can't see off camera, where there's some aggregate coming through here, which you didn't see prior to sanding. So whenever I sanded it, I kind of exposed this aggregate a little bit. There's not that much big aggregate in here, but it does show up from time to time, especially after I sanded the top off. Another thing too is the water sensitivity. And you probably can't see it on camera, but this is a little bit of a micro crack that I have in the floor, and that comes from maybe a little bit too much moisture in that spot. So just overall, other than that, most of this is very smooth. There's some rougher surfaces on it, which I'm not too concerned about because that actually gives you a little bit of grip on the floor. My main thing was to get this sealed down and have a smooth enough surface that it's easy to clean. You can mop it, you can sweep it, and you don't have to worry about trying to get stuff picked up because it's really not going to lay in anything, so it'll be real easy to clean. But again, some of these rough surfaces and some of this aggregate that shows after I sanded, I'm not too concerned about, because right now we're getting ready to put some color down, and if anything, it'll probably enhance that color. So I'm going to start on getting preparations ready to go so we can start putting the first color down, and we'll go over that. Okay, we're back, getting ready to start doing some colorization here. Now what I've done was I measured out 1 quart of the LS lockup, put it into a separate container, 1 ounce of colorant per quart. So I poured that in. Since this holds a quart, but it's all the way to the top, but I wouldn't be able to get in there with my rag and so forth. And basically the rags I have here, cut up t-shirts, clean, make sure all the lint's off of them, cut out any of the seams. You don't want the seams in here, so you want just straight cloth for here. So I have one cloth already in the jar, one here to dab up any puddles. What you want to do is make sure that you don't get a bunch of puddles, because that can actually cause issues that helping maintain the color. So what we're going to do is basically go ahead and start. We're going to take this rag, and again, you definitely want to wear gloves with this. I still have to put a glove on this hand, but I figured I'd go ahead and get started here. I'm going to wring out as much of the color as you can. And we're going to do kind of a faux pas thing. See, I got a drop already going down there. So we're just going to kind of drop it down and just do kind of a faux pas type thing. It's just real strong stuff, so it doesn't take much. And again, this is a deep orange that we're starting with, and then we're going to go back in and put a color of a blood red down. So, and I've never done this before, so we're learning as we go here. So I'm just going to try and kind of do this. Of course, where you put the color down first is going to be the strongest. So we're just going to play with this and see what we come up with. They did a similar design on their website where they put some Agri-Rok down, and turned out real nice. I happened to see it at their facility when I went up. So I'm kind of looking to generate the same type of thing. I'm thinking I don't want my colors quite as deep, but we'll see how it turns out. We'll go from there. And we're just gonna dab around here. I gotta get my knee pads on. I'm getting old. And the knees aren't what they used to be, that's for sure. So, I think this is gonna go real well with this paneling that I put in here. Kind of give it more of a wood type color. And we'll just keep kind of faux-pasing this as we go along. Okay, I will show you as we go through and see what it looks like with the first color down.